Hi, everyone. Welcome to Special Presentation with Mike and Ethan. Or,
Alf will not be seen tonight.
can you believe that we are entering our 7th year of doing this podcast?
Oh my God, 7 whole years.
7 years. My God, somebody broke a mirror and now the bad luck period is almost up.
Well, I bet this is about the time we're going to start making good episodes
Yeah,
now.
yeah. It's this is when we're gonna have like Who Shot Mr. Burns. So
Man, wow, I can't believe 7 years of podcasting. We sure beat all those other COVID
yeah.
podcasts who gave up.
Well, technically, it's the close of our 6th year and the beginning of our 7th year, but still, damn.
Yeah, that's close enough. It's close.
Yeah.
It's good enough. Wow. So what'd you get me for our 7 year podcast anniversary?
Um, I got you a I got you a special treat, something that we've never done before. We are breaking our no, not really breaking our own rules because this really does have an interesting in with our general theme. But for the first time, we're talking about a Marvel movie today.
Boy, and there are a lot of Marvel movies.
There's a
You might have noticed.
shit ton
So
of Marvel movies, and
there's so many Marvel
but you know
movies.
what? They were making Marvel movies even before they were making good Marvel movies.
That like this one?
Like this one. This from the era before Iron Man. We have today one of something that is kind of, legendarily bad even for a Marvel movie, but it's got a remake, if you can say that. I mean, reimagining. What do you call it when they make another movie in the same using the same characters but with none of the same actors or anything?
Yeah, I guess is it a reimagining
That's
or a
that's
remake or
that seems to be the
I don't know.
best answer. Anyway, there's a new movie coming out probably the week that this gets released. So we're looking at Fantastic Four.
So I gotta okay. So I feel like the Fantastic Four must be kind of cursed because there's that legendarily bad Roger Corman Fantastic Four
Yes,
movie.
which many people
That
believe was never actually intended to be released.
Okay, so fair on that one being
Yeah.
bad. Roger wasn't trying. Then there was the version with Jessica Alba, which I remember seeing in the theater, and I remember that one also sucked ass.
Oh, was that Fant Four
Um,
Stick?
is they called it Fan Four Stick?
It's just called
Oh,
Fantastic, but with a four for the A. Kind of
may,
like 13N Ghosts
maybe.
or Cis
Literally, the only
7N.
thing yeah, I remember it not being good. The only thing I remember about that movie is that there's a bit where Jessica Alba uses her invisibility powers, and then it fades too soon, so you see it in her underwear
Hmm.
for one scene, and she's like, "Oh no," because this was made in what the year. I'm not sure what year that was, but it was when like they're like, "Oh, we're gonna tantalize your Jessica Alba's in this movie. Here's something for the lads," and it's just like. And I just remember seeing that and kind of being like, ugh. Not like because I'm against seeing Jessica Alba in her underwear. It's just this kind of it was so it's hard to explain this. Like I like a good trashy movie. Like I like a trashy movie with lots of TNA. But like when they were like, we're gonna make like this like family friendly movie, but like we're gonna slot a little underwear in for the boys, and it's just like you really expect this to satisfy me in the year of like the cornucopia of unlimited pornography on the internet. Fuck you, I'm insulted. But anyway, but that movie I remember being pretty bad. So this is another, not that movie. This is another Fantastic Four movie.
No, that is that one. This is the one with Jessica Alba.
No, it's not. Was Jessica Alba in this one?
Yes, yes. The film stars Ian Griffith, Jessica Alba, Chris Evans, Michael Chiklis, Julian McMahon, and Kerry Washington.
Did we watch the same Fantastic Four?
Well, I hope so. I gave you the link to the one that I watched.
I did watch the one that you gave me a link to, but I don't think I saw Jessica Alba in it.
Are you sure? Okay,
What?
okay. Okay,
Okay,
folks,
wait a
we got to
second.
make sure that we're talking about the same movie here.
Wait.
Okay, did the movie you watched start with Reed and Ben looking up at a big metal statue of Victor Von Doom?
No. It started with Reed as a child in his school classroom doing a book report about how he was going to invent like a teleporter, and his teacher was like, "You fail because that's not a real piece of science."
What? Okay, okay, okay.
Wait,
How did I send you? How did I literally watched the same link that I sent to you?
did you see? Wait, was the Human Torch black in the version that you
No, he
watched?
was not.
Okay, so apparently somehow we've watched two different versions of the Fantastic Four.
How the hell
This
did
is
you do
interesting.
that? I'm looking
How
at
did
the
this
link that I
happen?
gave you. It's got Fantastic Four 2005.
Okay, wait a second. Well, I clicked on that, and it's one of those sites where when you try clicking on the thing to watch it, it's like, "Hey, do you want to?" It starts popping up all those
Yeah.
weird download things. So I remember, like, I had to kind of navigate around them. Maybe in navigating around them, I somehow activated the wrong Fantastic Four movie. I don't know how though. Um, Fantastic Four. Let me. What movie did I just watch? If not the two,
If you
if
watch
not the one with
the one with the black Human Torch, that is Fant Four Stick.
Okay, so I watched Fan Four Stick, not the Jessica Alba version.
Oh my god.
Okay, Fantastic Four. Let's see how many. Well, this is going to be an interesting episode, folks,
Yeah.
because Ethan, I think you will have to explain to me the Fantastic Four 2005,
Yeah.
which I vaguely remember having seen it like in 2005 in the theater,
And I've
and
never
then
seen the one you've seen.
well, and I will tell you about the version apparently, which is from Fan Four Stick. Is that the 2015 version?
Yes. So they've made a
Okay.
Fantastic Four movie every 10 years since 2005.
Okay. So what we have established here. Oh, and I guess we have neither of us watched. Apparently, there's another Fantastic Four in 2007 with the Rise of the Silver
Yeah, I
Surfer.
didn't bring that
Um,
one up. That is the sequel to the one that I watched.
okay. Well, we are go. So I guess here's the question. Which one is actually, when you say legendarily bad, is it the 2005 or the
I
2015?
think it's both. Neither one is supposed to
Well,
be especially good.
I remember the 2005 one being bad, and I can tell you the 2015 one is also really bad. This is
Great
gonna,
start to our seventh year.
you know what? It's gonna be like when we look. When, this is gonna be like the our hillbilly elegy, not hillbilly elegy, our Snuffy Smith
Yes.
episode
Which we
where
should have
you
called
watch
Hillbilly
Snuffy
Elegy.
Smith. Yeah, we should have. It was like you, I think, watched Snuffy Smith, and then I watched Snuffy Smith joins the army, and we
Yeah.
were like, all right, let's compare and contrast. Okay, well, here's the important thing about the Fantastic Four. There's four of them, right?
Right. That's at
Okay,
least that
who?
part doesn't change.
Okay, who are the Fantastic Four? Let's compare the characters.
Okay. So, my favorite I should say that I actually, as a concept, I really like the Fantastic Four. It was actually my first comic book. It was my first superhero comic book that I bought because I couldn't find Transformers that week. so
Huh?
so
Mm-hmm.
because that was the old heads will know that was the year that the month that Marvel did their 25th anniversary covers. So some of them had some of them had special contents, but they all had a special weird cover that showed a portrait of one of the main characters. And so I couldn't tell which one was Transformers because, for whatever reason, I mean, who would you expect to be the portrait on the cover of Transformers?
Octopus Prime, right?
Nope.
Oh, okay. So is it Decepticon guy? The Decepticon?
Yeah, but not the one you'd think.
Is it Starscream?
No.
Okay, who was
It
it?
was fucking Menasor.
Oh, is he a Dinobot?
No, he is a combiner made out of the 5 Stunticons. He is an incredibly minor character. I didn't recognize him.
Wow. Okay, I have not heard of this guy at all. But that probably doesn't say a lot.
Yeah, you don't. I forgive you for never having heard of Menasor, but I mean, ostensibly I would have heard of him, and I still didn't know who it was. So I picked the next best looking comic on the rack, which had a portrait of the Thing wearing his trench coat and hat disguise, and
Yes.
that was a pretty cool comic where the Thing finally, as you might guess, the Fantastic Four has a kind of Dino Riders issue where almost every episode is about somebody saying, "I'm quitting the team," and then they come back. And yes,
Okay.
and this one was about Ben feeling like he had finally. There was no hope for him in the human world, so he goes to Monster Island, where the Mole Man lives with all these monsters that he may have made himself or not.
Okay. So he's pretty busy there on Monster Island.
Monster Island. It's actually a peninsula, but
that's where they put Godzilla.
oh, wow. I didn't see him there. Actually, my favorite thing about that one was that the Mole Man actually had custom-made monsters to counter the Fantastic Four. Like there was one with bat-like sonar who could see Sue even when she was invisible, and one with patagium, big bat wings that could smother the Human Torch's flames. So that was,
okay.
yeah,
That's actually pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. It's like, yeah, I like this idea of custom monsters for any situation. But
Yeah. Okay. So it sounds like you have a little bit of history with the Fantastic Four.
And one of the things that I think is really neat about the Fantastic Four is that, I mean, they can be a superhero team, but a lot of the time they're more of what you said you liked as like a sort of adventuring team along the lines of, say, the Venture Brothers, which is probably why they were so closely parodied in the Venture Brothers.
Yeah. I've never I don't know a whole lot about the Fantastic Four other than that 90s cartoon series.
Oh yeah.
Which from which I learned it's not always cool to be cool. You ought to teach this in school. This goes out to you, Melissa. But yeah. So I mostly know they have a thing. Do they fly around in a plane? They don't have a plane.
Yeah, they do. It's called the Fantasticar.
Oh, okay, cool. So I know they have a plane, and I know there's 4 of them, and they each have a different power.
Yeah, and the just a little bit under the surface, scratch the surface, and you realize, oh, they're the cardinal elements of medieval times. You have the Thing for earth, you have Invisible Woman for air, you have the Human Torch for fire, of course, and I guess you got to squint a little to make Reed be water, but he's very fluid.
No, okay, all right, yeah, that makes sense. I'll follow that. They mostly, I assume, okay. So, I assume my knowledge of the Fantastic Four is this. They got their powers in an accident in space.
That's correct.
And they mostly fight Doctor Doom. Is he their main
Dr.
villain,
Doom
I guess?
is their major villain. They have a number of other regular recurring characters, like the Mole Man, who I mentioned before, and Galactus, who seems to be the villain of the upcoming movie. And
right.
But I don't know how many others I can name, but mostly they just kind of fight each other because it's very much a dysfunctional family story.
I guess I can see why they keep thinking that this will work as a movie because that you have a kind of like a squabbling family who comes together and it loves each other at the end of the day is a very compelling concept.
Yeah.
But for some reason it doesn't seem to have gelled in the first 3 Fantastic Four movies.
I guess technically
maybe
the first
number
4
4
if you're counting Roger Corman. So.
Oh, that's true. So the first 4, not so much, but maybe the 5th time is the charm.
We'll call those the Frightful Four.
Yes, because I guess the new one has Pedro Pascal in
Oh
it,
yeah.
and he is a delight. So maybe he will lift the curse that has been dogging the Fantastic Four through so many
Yeah.
films. Um, okay, so Fantastic Four 2005.
Yes.
What do you think of it? What's the
Um,
verdict?
it's okay. There is what is it? What was I thinking about it? Is there is a you can really tell that it's 2005 because it feels like we're really desperately trying to shake off the 90s when you watch this movie. They're
Mm, mm.
like you said, the part where they make where Jessica Alba has to take off her clothes. That was completely unnecessary because I mean, she's always been able to make her clothes invisible because it's not like her skin becoming invisible, it's the Invisible Woman, her actual power is to create force fields that also, deflect light, so anything behind them is invisible. So, I mean, she's always been able to do that over her clothes. So it was, very obviously like this is a movie for immature children. We're going to have to put some pretty stuff in it.
Yeah, yeah. That I guess so. That is the one thing I remember about the movie, and it sounds like it's kind of indicative of the tone of the film.
Yeah, I mean, there are good moments in the movie. I mean, one of I think Michael Chiklis makes a pretty good version of the Thing. I don't think he looks so great when he's Ben Grimm. I mean, kind of some of the one of the real tragedies about the Thing is that he was an absolute hunk before he became a giant orange rock man. And Michael Chiklis, I don't know. No, he looks like your dad. He does not look old enough. He does not look young enough to have been Reed's roommate in college.
Mm, mm.
I don't know if they got into
I
this, but Reed had two roommates. The first was Victor Von Doom, and then the second was Ben Grimm. So,
Okay. Well, again, I think that does provide a lot of the Venture Brothers
uh huh.
jokes. I think wasn't Doctor Venture roommates in college with Werner von Underbite?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, yeah, I think I vaguely remember that. So again, I guess the adventure type thing. Um, I, well, I think that that's part of what Victor Von Doom in the comic books, as I recall him.
Yes.
He's basically the dictator of this like kind of Eastern Bloc Iron Curtain type fictional country.
Yeah.
Um,
I haven't read enough of the original 60s comics to know if they really got that whole Red Scare thing going on with him. He honestly comes across as more of a Dracula figure in a lot of ways.
that's true. I mean, he basically, whenever I've seen him appear, which is mostly in the Spider-Man newspaper comic,
Yeah.
I do get the impression that like he lives in a castle. Everyone in Latveria, they are basically like peasants.
Yeah.
It is for all intents and purposes, yeah, kind of Dracula coded. He even wears the cape and everything, so
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, he's a Dracula.
He is
And
very
but
recognizable in that not only does he wear a metal suit like Iron Man, but he also wears a tunic, cape, and hood over it. So
yeah,
it's like in case his suit gets cold, I guess.
it's definitely a look.
Yeah, I mean he
Um,
is very recognizable, and they really push the whole thing with in the movie that I watched when he finally puts the hood on. Reed is saying, "Victor, you don't have to do this," and he goes, "Call me Doom."
oh yeah, it's how convenient that his name is Doom.
Yes.
Uh, Now, the thing is, like he is kind of he does fit very neatly into that world adventure type milieu,
Uh huh.
because if you're a globetrotting adventurer, you're gonna run afoul of a few like Eastern Europe dictator type
Right.
characters. That's just that's right. Basically, you're going to run afoul of that sort of guy, and of course, a South American strongman sort of guy.
Right.
Those are your two primary sorts of guys you're going to be fighting. And of course, they're terrorists. You probably fight some pirates too and
Right.
stuff.
Right.
But like, those are top types of guys in that thing. But I feel like he doesn't fit as well into a straight superhero story, which might be why, if I recall correctly, in 2005's The Fantastic Four, they kind of make him out more of like a tech bro type.
Yeah, he's
sort
very,
of guy.
he's very much a tech bro, and the differing wildly from the comics, he actually has powers of his own as opposed to being like a genius inventor.
Oh, what are his powers in the 2005
Well, in
movie?
the 2005 movie, as we know, the Fantastic Four gained their abilities from being exposed to cosmic rays while in space. Now,
Right,
the thing
right.
in this movie, it happens because they are on a space station that is actually owned by Von Doom. In the comics, maybe you didn't know this, the comics actually came out 2 years before anyone had been into space. So neither so neither Neil not Neil Armstrong neither Alan Shepard nor shoot what's who the Russian guy
Buzz,
shit they don't teach us his name in
oh,
school. Yuri
Yuri
Gagarin, yes.
Guru
Yeah, neither of them had been to
Yeah.
space yet. So at the time it was like, wow, these guys are going into space. No one's ever done that before. And then they, get bombarded with cosmic rays, make a crash landing on Earth, and rapidly mutate. So,
Okay,
but in
so but
this
in the
one, not only are our four main characters, that would be Reed Richards, Sue Storm, her younger brother Johnny Storm, and Ben Grimm. Not only are they on the space station, but so is Victor Von Doom. And he
okay.
is the only one that is actually behind like these blast shields that are supposed to protect him from the cosmic rays. But as it turns out, they just sort of filtered them, and he finds himself slowly turning into a metal man. A metal man with seemingly infinite battery charge capacity. So he's,
Ah,
literally, throwing lightning bolts, which I guess makes sense because they keep telling him, you always act like you're a god. It's like, well, one must expect to feel a few lightning bolts when one plays with gods.
now I is now in the comics. Isn't he just a guy who's got a fucked up face, so he wears the metal thing because he's embarrassed?
Yes, they are purposefully very cagey about ever showing what his face looks like. So either his face really is fucked up, and he's got a good reason to wear the mask, or it's like a tiny nick somewhere on his face that you'd never notice, and he's so vain that he put the mask on anyway, and the mask was red hot when he put it on, so now he's scarred and miserable no matter what.
Oh, well, that just it just goes to show you, don't put on a red hot metal mask.
No, I mean,
What do you expect to happen, you dum dum?
did you ask Destro about this? I'm sure he knows.
Oh, did that happen to Destro too?
I
This just keeps happening.
I think so. Actually, I have vague memories of a GI Joe episode that has the origin of Destro, but I think it was like a inspired by the Man in the Iron Mask. I might be wrong.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, no, that sounds right. Okay, so basically what we're saying here is that in the comics, Victor Von Doom, he's a guy, he's a normal guy who for some reason he's got issues with his face. He doesn't like his face. It's either like tremendously fucked up or not, and he's just got dysmorphia or something.
Yeah.
That cape that cape that he and cowl he wears, that's basically a dysphoria hoodie, is what we're saying. But in
HRT could have
the
saved her.
they call it should have been Victorina. I
Victoria
don't know
Von
what the
Doom.
fucking
Yeah. Shit.
Victoria. Thank you. That's the actual name. Wow,
Victorina.
Victorina. I completely forgot.
Yeah, like in the movie
what
Victor
the fem-
Victorina. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Victorina. That totally normal name that we all know.
Victorina through air power.
Yeah. Okay, so in the movie, Victor Von Doom is actually a superhero turning into a metal man, like Tatsuya the Iron Man or
Yeah,
something.
for real.
Because they were like, look, we need to update him for the kids.
I think it might have something
what
to do with how just like 3 years later they had updated Spider-Man, so his web shooters were actually part of him as opposed to something he invented.
I mean, that's not a bad update.
I don't
That
think
kind
so.
of
Yeah,
fits.
it is a little weird
Yeah,
that they come
yeah.
out of his wrists and not, his anus, but I
Well,
can
I
see.
mean,
Yeah.
I feel like if they gave Raimi full reign, maybe he would have actually done that. I wouldn't put it past him, but I'm sure standards and practices had some words.
Actually, that would be really funny. Would
Okay.
be if someone said, "Well, if you're a spider, shouldn't the silk be coming out of like glands by your anus?" And Peter could be like, "Oh, they do. I just don't do that in public."
I mean, it's like how do you think he made the suit?
Yeah.
How did he make the suit? I don't
No,
know if they ever established that.
he's just a really good designer. But no, I had this. Okay, years ago, I had this idea for a character who was like a parody of Spider-Man, where you have this nerd who gets bitten by a radioactive spider, and he goes stumbling around in a rabid rage, and ends up biting the swishy gay kid who hangs out in the costume area behind the theater. So he gets bitten by a radioactive Spider-Man, and he gains the ability to eject silk from his pores in any color. So he becomes the ultimate quick change artist.
Oh, that actually be a very useful skill.
It would, yeah.
He would kind of do it. He could kind of do things then like Japanese Spider-Man, whose like costume like flies out of like onto him.
Yeah.
Like how the Japanese Spider-Man does that thing where he's like pushes a button, then his costume kind of flies out of nowhere and goes on him.
Yeah. Which is also how the Thing worked when they did Fred and Barney Meet the Thing.
Oh.
So
what kind of
we've
thing
talked
did
about
Fred
Fred and
and
Barney Meet the Thing before. This was what they used to do was they used to just pack as many cartoons together in one like power hour as they could, and have little bumpers where they meet in the middle. So Fred and Barney never actually went on any adventures with the Thing, but the actual plot of the Thing cartoons was that, one, he was not part of the Fantastic Four in this, but apparently he had been cured of his Thingism, I guess, but it had also reduced him to a teenager again. But anytime he needed to be the Thing again, he had these rings on, and he could just clasp them together and go, "Thing rings, do your thing!" And, orange boulders would fly out of nowhere and attach themselves to him.
Well, Hanna-Barbera.
Hanna-Barbera. And there is actually a character called, like, Ms. Thing in the comics who actually has Thing rings that work like that, so...
No, Miss Thing, huh?
Yeah,
she
Miss
thinks
Thing.
she's all that.
Yeah, she thinks she's all
Miss
that.
Well, okay, speaking of the Thing, so I remember in the 2005 Fantastic Four, there was a subplot. The Thing felt bad about being the Thing.
Yes, I mean that is pretty much his defining issue, is that he, even though he is absolutely a hero and well respected, there are a number of people who just think it's hilarious to pick on him for whatever reason, including the Yancey Street gang, who I don't know if there really is a Yancey Street in New York, but apparently he used to be part of the Yancey Street gang when he was young, and now they devote their lives to humiliating him by, like, setting up a gift box that will throw pie in his face. This is a weird idea for a gang, honestly.
It's very weird. They're like, oh, this superhero that everyone loves. Well, we're gonna take him down a notch.
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially
by
knowing
doing
that
these
if he
pranks.
ever catches you, you are paste.
Yeah, that's very odd. I assume they're in the comics, not in the movie.
Yeah,
though.
haven't seen a movie where the Yancey Street gang shows up, but they don't really get in. They're mostly unseen characters. There isn't like an established membership for the Yancey Street gang.
Oh, okay. We just see the results of their pranks,
Right.
I guess. Okay. So what actually happens in 2005 Fantastic Four?
Okay, so Reed is having a lot of trouble keeping the lights on, even though he's a genius scientist. Ben has been his loyal right-hand man for years since college. They go to Victor to ask him for a loan for this project that they have in mind. And it turns out it's not just a loan. They also want to use his satellite space station, and he agrees as long as he gets to come along. And at this point, Victor is actually dating Sue Storm, who is Reed's ex-girlfriend. They're not actually together right now.
Awkward.
Yeah.
All right.
He actually proposes to her while they're on the space station, but she doesn't necessarily say yes. Actually, that's kind of one of the funnier lines there is that he says, he's holding up the ring to her and he says, 4 little words that will change your life forever. And Reed bursts in and says, "The cloud is early."
That is 4 words.
the cloud specifically of cosmic rays that we're supposed to arrive in 9 hours are here now, while they're all unprotected and Ben is actually out on a spacewalk. So, yeah. So everybody gets irradiated. Next thing we know, they're waking up in Victor's private hospital, and and there's actually a fairly funny bit where Johnny is telling Ben, is like, the doctors did all they could. I mean, and Ben is like, I want to see a mirror. I don't know, Ben. I don't think you're ready for it. He grabs the mirror and he looks completely normal, and Johnny cracks up. Johnny is a big douchebag in this movie, but I mean, he kind of always is.
So he looks normal, so he's not a Rockman in this?
No, he's not a Rockman yet. None of them have actually transformed yet. So.
Oh, okay. So it's a slow thing.
Yes.
It's they do the slow, sexy TF.
Uh-huh. It should be noted, if you didn't know, that the Human Torch, Chris Evans, later went on to be Captain America in the Captain America movies. So.
Oh, yeah, I think those are probably more well received.
Yes. I mean, when I saw Captain America, the First Avenger, and they had the Japanese American soldier come up, and they were like, "What? We're bringing the enemy with us?" And he says, "I'm from Fresno, jackass." Everyone in the audience clapped.
Fresno mentioned.
Yes.
The biggest mention of Fresno since Monsters vs. Aliens.
Yeah.
And Cow and Chicken.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because I mean, our most beloved native son is of course IR Baboon. But.
Yeah. Well, I hear we're going to go see the center of American culture, Fresno. Okay.
So at first it seems like they're all okay, but then Johnny suddenly bursts into flame while skiing, and Sue finds herself losing visibility while she's out shopping, and Ben is really not feeling good, and he goes to bed early, and his bed registers him as gaining some 600 pounds in a minute. Where does all this extra mass come from?
Wait, his bed is
his bed has
something?
they're still staying at the hospital. So.
Oh, okay, all right, gotcha. Okay.
No, he doesn't have a scale bed just for funsies. No.
Yeah, I was gonna say is he very weight conscious? What's the deal there? Okay, so they've all turned into freaks.
Yes.
What happens then?
After this, we have Ben is kind of for the first thing that happens is that Ben goes to his fiancée, apparently, and we've never seen this. We haven't seen this woman in the comics before, I don't think, at least. And he's like, brace yourself for a shock. And she doesn't take it well. She's like, I just can't be part of this. And she ends up taking off her ring and leaving it on the ground. And
oh, jeez.
And there's kind of a moment of real pathos there as Ben, squats down to pick it up, but with his enormous bread loaf-sized fingers, he can't.
That guy just can't get a break.
Yeah. I mean, Ben is deeply pathetic, and not in the sense of like strong sad is pathetic. I mean, he's there's a lot of pathos to him.
Right.
One thing that I'm disappointed in this movie that never comes up, it's become, I think, much more of a public side of him in the 20 years since this movie, is that it never comes up that Ben is Jewish.
Oh, is that mentioned in this movie? I vaguely remember something about
It
that.
doesn't come up at all in this movie. I'm not sure if I've never, I haven't seen Fant Four Stick, so I don't know if it comes up there or not. But I think it's going to come up in the new one, at least.
Wow, I can't believe the Fantastic Four went woke.
Include, yes, I can't believe a Jewish creator included a Jewish character. How dare he?
Oh, oh, Elon Musk is gonna lose his shit. Okay, so
So, and but between these two, heartbreaking moments, Ben is just trying to, find a place for himself. He's standing on a bridge for a while, thinking about jumping, and then another guy sidles over and tosses his briefcase in, and he's like, "Hey, look at me! You got way less problems than I do. Get the hell off the bridge." And then he ends up causing an accident trying to save this suicidal guy. And then and accidents compound themselves, and eventually a fire truck is hanging off of the bridge. The four fantastic people who have not yet received their names, they actually get their names when Johnny just kind of makes them up out of thin air during an interview,
mm,
which
mm.
is, I in the original comics they made up their names right away. As soon as they were back on Earth, and I kind of miss the pathos of Sue having said something like, Reed, get away from him, he's turned into some sort of thing, and when they say, and they're like, hey, I'm calling myself the Human Torch, I'm with you all the way. It's like, Ben, are you with us? I ain't Ben no more. I'm what Susie called me, the Thing.
Mm.
So, I mean, the name The Thing has always been kind of self-deprecating on his. So I kind of don't like taking away his agency there and not giving himself the name. But,
Mm, mm.
but again, the point of this movie is that, you know, realizing that Ben got the worst of it, Reed is dedicating himself to finding a cure, which he thinks he can do by basically recreating the effects of the cosmic rays in reverse. I don't think that's how that works, but whatever.
Yeah, okay. Huh.
It's a very Star Trek kind of thing, but so anyway, yeah, they all end up helping to save this fire engine that's falling off the bridge, which is when
Mm-hmm.
they are suddenly very popular, and there's news about Fantastic Four. Not a name, just a description. In daring rescue on bridge, which is what it says on the newspaper that is handed to them by their mailman. Did the mailman appear in your movie?
No, is
Okay.
the mailman a major character in this film?
Yes and no. This is, I think, the only movie in which their mailman appears. Now, the Fantastic Four, who have public identities, it is not a secret that Reed Richards is Mr. Fantastic. They get a lot of
Mm-hmm.
fan mail. So they have a complicated relationship with their mailman who has to lug it up several flights of stairs to get it to them.
Oh, huh.
Yes, their mailman is named Willie Lumpkin. First of all, great name, but there's a reason he's called Willie Lumpkin, and that is because he's the oldest character of this group, because he comes from a newspaper comic strip created by Stan Lee.
Oh, what's the newspaper comic strip?
It's called Willie Lumpkin.
Oh, wait, Stan Lee created a newspaper comic strip about a mailman?
Yes, he did. And it didn't run for very long. It actually only ran for about a year. But I mean, it's it's a very important thing in comics, not only because it was Stan Lee's comic strip, but Stan Lee is a writer, not an artist. The artist was Dan DiCarlo, the Archie guy.
Oh, okay. Wow. That's weird. I can kind of imagine how he would draw Willie Lumpkin.
Yes. I mean, but he wasn't really drawing in the House Archie style. It's much more simplified in the Willie Lumpkin comic strip. Willie Lump,
Oh, okay.
however, once again, bringing it full circle, Willie Lumpkin appears in this movie delivering mail to Mr. Fantastic, played by Stan Lee.
Oh, okay.
So this is the
I
only time that they've actually had that we've had a comic strip character played by their creator on this show.
Oh, wow, wow. That you're right. That actually is a first. I don't think we've seen that with anyone else.
Yeah, not. I mean, there are a lot that are like variants on their creator, like Ellie, as opposed to being the self insert on For Better or for Worse. But I mean, Willie Lumpkin didn't look nearly as much like Stan Lee in the comic strip, but by the time he
Yeah.
came along in Fantastic Four, he looked a lot more like Stan Lee would when he was 90.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that was when they were putting Stan Lee in all the Marvel movies. He was doing
Yes.
a lot of
Yes,
cameos,
he is.
but I think he usually was just a random dude as opposed to an actual character from the comic.
Yeah, I think his very last one was the shit. What's that one called? With the robot? Uh,
Um,
the
uh,
animated
uh,
one?
it's an animated robot.
Yeah.
Huh.
What
Uh,
crap? What is that?
what
What is
was
that
it?
movie called? Shit. The one that takes place in
It's a
San Francisco.
oh, Big Hero
Big Hero
Six.
6. Yes, I think that was his very last appearance before he died.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that was a Stan Lee joint.
Yes.
Huh. Um,
It was, in fact, based on a
okay.
Marvel comic, so I think that's the only Pixar movie that has been licensed from a comic book or licensed from
Oh,
anything.
interesting. Huh. All right.
Anyway,
Well,
here
we'll
is
have
the
to
Lumpkin comic strip.
let's take a look at this. Okay. You know what? I would not have thought this was Dan DeCarlo. It looks very high and Lois.
Yeah, very much so.
Oh,
And
yeah.
here is the
So,
most famous Willie Lumpkin moment from the Fantastic Four comic, where he says to Reed, "By the way, Mr. Richards, are you looking to hire any new members for your group? I haven't exactly got any superpowers, but I can wiggle my ears real good."
it looks like yeah, Reed Richards is not taken with this.
No. I don't know. I don't know. I always liked the idea of him joining the group and Reed being like, "Okay, I've developed a system that will let you fire off lasers by wiggling your ears. You can call yourself Laser Geezer."
What I like here is in the background as Willie is saying this, there's a second man watching this conversation who's got the most diabolical look. He looks like he's got this insane grin. He looks like Willem Dafoe a
He
little
does
bit.
look like Willem Dafoe. I think that's Johnny.
That scans. Johnny would be the sort who would be amused by this exchange. Okay, so Willie Lumpkin is bringing the mail.
Yep.
After this whole bridge incident
Oh, yeah.
with the Fantastic Four.
Oh,
So
and
now
since you hadn't seen it, here's an image of Stan Lee as Willie. So he looks like
he
a mailman.
does look like he does look like a mailman. So and he does look like the depiction of the mailman in the Fantastic Four
Yeah, which is kind of
comic.
funny because he drew that. Not he didn't draw that. I think no, like Jack Kirby drew that some 40 years previous. So.
Yeah, he was, well, knowing Jack Kirby, he's like, "I'll draw you. This is gonna look like you fucking piece of shit." Because I understand that they had a tempestuous relationship.
Yeah, as Evan Dorkin indelibly put it, Smilin' Stan and Jolly Jack weren't smiling or jolly or even friends.
Wow. Apparently, the thing that indicated that they were smiling and jolly was lying to us. Okay, so what's going on in the movie now that they
Okay.
have become the Fantastic
So,
Four?
there's a few as they're trying to keep themselves. What's the word? The thing that we were just in 4 years ago, quarantined, and
Yes.
they're keeping themselves quarantined while they try to figure out how to fix Ben, and there's a nice montage here of the four of them, getting to know their powers and experimenting with them. My favorite is when Reed is shaving and he realizes how much easier it is to stretch his face way out while he shaves. And
Um, okay, so
so, and there is also a very nice meet cute for where Ben goes to a bar that he used to frequent, and everyone's terrified of this giant rock man stepping in, but the bartender says, "Hey, this is Ben Grimm, the first Brooklyn boy to be an astronaut. You all show some respect." And that is when we introduce Alicia. I don't know if you're familiar with Alicia Masters, but she's Ben's girlfriend in the comics. And
I'm not familiar with her.
well, I don't know how complimentary this is toward Ben, but he has a blind girlfriend. And
Oh,
yeah, but
good representation.
yeah, even more so this time in that Alicia is now black when she wasn't before. So
Okay.
also, it should
I
be
guess
noted that this movie has a black director. He was otherwise best known for the barbershop movies, which is kind of wild
Oh,
because this is a pretty white movie.
yeah, I have heard of the barbershop movies. And I do remember this movie also being pretty white. But it's good that he's got a blind girlfriend. Blind, like, I guess that we're in the foxtrot zone.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, it's Denise. I wonder if we can see
yeah,
Denise again.
yeah. Well, it looks like so Ben's got a girlfriend now, so things are going good for him.
Yeah, a little good for him, but he's still kind of. But I mean, they're not necessarily dating just yet. They just have a nice kind of meeting, and but all is not well for Victor, who has been, who is losing money, bleeding cash since this event happened, and he's getting removed from his own board of directors. And also, he thought he was unaffected by the cosmic rays, but he's got this scar that just won't heal, and the more he scratches at it, the more silver it becomes. And he's starting to notice that his hands are getting more metallic, and eventually he figures out that he can just kind of, aim a stream of energy any place he wants. So nobody seems to pick up that, gee, isn't it funny that everybody that was on the Von Doom board of directors has suddenly died of electrocution while alone? Weird, huh?
Huh. That is strange. So, I guess he's killing people.
Yeah, he's
and
killing people, and the others are unaware of it. And meanwhile, he manages to find Ben having lunch alone in a diner or something, and and he starts saying, he basically puts a wedge between Ben and Reed, saying, "Yeah, it would be nice if he could tear himself away from his new girlfriend long enough to actually help you." And of course, Reed said, "I'm going to work night and day to help you," but he did actually take a day off to go on a date with Sue today. So
wow, what an asshole.
yeah, so there's a
Uh,
so they come home to find Ben waiting for them. Once again, there's a big fight, and Reed is trying and trying on his capsule that will reverse the effects of the on them. And since Ben is gone, he has to try it on himself, and it doesn't work.
well, that okay. So
Ben comes
sucks to be
back
him.
to
Mhm.
apologize, only to find that Reed isn't there and Victor is, and the issue because he can actually provide enough power to get this pod working. And so he does, in fact, get him to, he transforms the thing back into Ben. And I think it's pretty funny that there's like no sign he was ever the thing. Like he still has hair on his arms. Where did that come from?
It worked out good for him.
Yes. And it worked out good for Victor too, because now the only person who was resistant to his natural defense is harmless again. So
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So now he's basically saying, why should I settle for being a rich tech bro when I can be a god? Leading to
Okay.
everyone having to put their heads together to fight him. And for one thing, he releases a heat-seeking missile toward the to the Fantastic Four's base, which Johnny has to basically chase, have it chase him until he can set a barge on fire that will attract its attention.
Hmm. Hmm.
Uh, let's see. He does in fact manage to kidnap Reed and hits him with like liquid nitrogen, so he'll shatter.
Oof.
But he
Okay.
yeah, but he but he doesn't go all the way with it. He just kind of partially freezes him so he can feel his fingers breaking as Doom tortures him. But
Okay. That's a
yeah, huh?
that's a bit grisly for this style of movie, but okay.
Yeah, it kind of is. But they really have to sell that Victor is not a good guy anymore if he ever was. But it sounds like he never really was.
Yeah. Now he's real evil.
He's
Okay.
real evil, and but he failed to. But he should have destroyed the pod after Ben was done using it, because the next thing he knows, he's the Thing again, and he is punching the daylights out of Victor just in time to get to Reed and start untying him while saying things like, Victor's just a little over dramatic, huh? He's got a heart of gold, huh? But, of course, that's not enough to defeat him. It takes all four of them to finally defeat Doom, which involves, let's see, one, Johnny does this technique that he said that they call the supernova, which they told him not to do, because it could set the Earth's entire atmosphere on fire. So there's a real kind of cross the streams energy here. He does that all
Okay.
around. He does that all around Doom while Sue uses a force field to contain it, leaving Doom with pretty much all of his remaining flesh burned off as just as a red hot living suit of armor. He put on a mask, by the way. There was almost no real lead up to this. He just kind of shattered a mask that he happened to have. Shattered the glass on a mask that he happened to have. I don't know where the mask came from.
It was just like, do not, in case of mutation, break
Yeah,
glass.
pretty much. and after and afterward, he's like, "You think your flame can hurt me?" And Rita's like, "Well, it's basic chemistry. What happens when you rapidly cool superheated metal?" Which is when Ben kicks down a fire hydrant, Reed turns himself into a garden hose, and they spray him down, and he becomes a lifeless metal statue. Except he's not that lifeless, because we see that as they are shipping him home to Latveria, people's electronics are shorting out, so he's still making signals in there somewhere. To be
Okay.
continued
Well,
in the Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer.
right, right. I guess they were hopeful that they were like, Dr. Von Doom will be
Yep.
back in
They couldn't just have him
Fantastic
like
Four: The
blowing
World
a
Crime
bubble
League.
that says "We'll be back."
Yeah. Then they should get McDonald's to sponsor it. Um, okay, so is that basically
That's
the
pretty
end
much the whole
then?
movie. Everything else is just kind of
Okay.
wrapping it up, and as they're celebrating on a ship, Johnny flies into the sky and draws a big 4.
Oh, he loves doing that sort of
He
shit.
does, yeah.
Okay, so Fantastic Four 2005. What's your verdict on it?
Um, we hadn't yet nailed down how to do superhero movies. I think it was a noble effort for the time. I think they clearly they cared a lot about the characters, and they wanted to share it with everyone. But you know, as is often the case in these 2000s franchise movies, they made so many compromises in the name of explaining all of this to people who had never read a comic book before, that it felt like it really does kind of feel like baby's first superhero movie in a lot of ways.
I mean, is that I remember the movie not being good. So what is it that doesn't work about this movie? Is it just that they're over explaining things or
Yeah, over explaining things, and there's no subtlety to the characters' portrayals. I mean,
hmm.
that actually, I think Reed comes across the best because he can be. When they write for him, they tend to make him a computer on legs, and he seems to have a lot more emotional depth in this movie than he does in some of the comics. But you know, the only difference between this version of the Thing and the version from the cartoons is that this one hates it when they ask him to yell the catchphrases from the cartoons.
Oh, well, that's no fun
Yeah.
then. That feels like it's. I like it when comic movies do that thing. Is like that fun thing that everyone loves. We're not doing that.
Yeah.
It's like when they wanted to make the Superman. It's like he's not going to fly. He's not going to have the costume.
Yeah.
He's going to fight a big robot spider. Um,
What aspect of
okay.
Superman do you like apart from the name, honestly?
I think that was one with he's like a caged animal. He's a killer. It's like, well, I guess they never made that version.
No, they didn't.
But,
Although I believe in the recent Flash movie, we got to look at like a bunch of DC alternate universes, and you did in fact see a Superman who looked like Nicolas Cage fighting a giant spider.
yes, I just saw that recently, so I do remember that. And talk about superhero movies that are hot garbage. The Flash is no good. We watched it entirely because there's a cameo from Michael Keaton in it.
Yeah.
And
Oh, that's
my
right,
wife wanted
right.
to see that. Yeah. Or actually, it's not a cameo. He's in it for a little while. But anyway. Okay. So it sounds like the Fantastic Four in 2005 is not.
It's bad, but okay. Here's another story. Here's another amusing little anecdote. I have a friend. We will call him Charlie, who
Mhm.
who was a big fan of the Michael Bay Transformers movies,
Mhm.
and he said that he was looking forward to a movie that would include Unicron because he wanted Unicron to turn into a spider and be hanging off the side of the Earth. And
Uh,
I said,
okay.
"Well, I guess that's not too. I guess if we can get around Galactus being a cloud." And he said, "You shut your goddamn. Oh, are these what these movies are like for you? Jeez."
Oh well, he finally saw through your eyes.
Yeah, pretty much. And because no, we didn't bring that up, but in Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer is, of course, the herald of the planet-eating Galactus, who appeared only as a giant cloud with the silhouette of the familiar Galactus helmet before.
See, that's the thing is when they decide we're not going to do the silly superhero things, we're going to make it less dumb. It's like, why are you doing this?
When you make it
It's a
less dumb, you
superhero.
make it more dumb.
Yeah, the whole superheroes, they're dumb. I'm sorry. It's a
Yes.
dumb concept. Just, you got to lean into it. I mean, I guess to some degree, there's certain ones that you can kind of get gritty with. Batman seems the one they
Yes.
like doing that with. But, even Batman,
How are you going to
it's
get
a
gritty with
certain
the Flash? How are you going to get gritty with
Yeah.
Shazam?
Exactly.
Shazam is a Disneyland of happy violence.
It's just it's silly. It's silly. It's like, oh, we're going to deconstruct superheroes. I'm sorry, we live in a post-Watchmen world. We've deconstructed them as much
Yes.
as they can be
You
deconstructed.
need to
we all,
reconstruct them now. Make it make sense.
yeah.
Ma-
It's like we all know. Oh yeah. Oh, you made a Superman, but he's evil. Yeah, got a real badass here. It's like it's been done. It's been done. I'm sorry. We've all seen the fucking. I don't know. What is that movie? The movie where there's a bad Superman? He's,
I don't
there's
know.
100 of them.
What movie has a bad Superman?
I don't know. There's so many. There's oh, what if there was an evil Superman? Wow. Yeah. It's like, oh, whatever.
I mean, there are a lot more things you could be exploring with that. What if there was an evil Batman?
That's true. What if, he would just be like regular Batman, but use a gun.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Good point. What if there was a good Joker?
Oh, everyone would love that movie.
Yeah.
When are they going to make the movie where, like, seriously, the Joker is almost like an anti-hero at this
Yeah.
point. They already did it with Harley Quinn. Why
Yeah,
not?
they did it with
Make the happy,
Venom.
the good.
Shit.
Yeah, everybody is champing at the bit for a good Joker movie.
Yes.
They just want
He's
it.
a good
Everyone
guy,
wants
but
to
he's
see.
also a serial killer. Well, I guess there's Dexter, but still.
Yeah, I mean, look, he's the clown prince of crime. So that's why they call him that. By the way, that's a pun. It rhymes with crown prince.
Yeah. As I
Yeah.
have often said, because as we remember, Michael Jackson was the king of pop, but he left no heir. And in the absence of an heir, the crown of king of pop must go to the clown prince. So I'm sorry, Weird Al Yankovic is now the king of pop.
I mean, that's just
Yeah.
science. So Weird Al, King Al
Yes.
first.
Damn right.
Yeah. Well, show some respect. Nothing but respect for my king.
Yeah.
Um,
The Waffle
okay.
King.
Well, yeah. So it sounds like he's the king who sings.
Yeah.
Now it sounds like Fantastic Four 2005, kind of a dud.
Kind of a dud. I mean, I feel like there was real effort made, but we hadn't the. I mean, it's weird that they were making superhero movies before they started really making superhero movies, and it was always kind of a flail. It was always kind of like throwing shit at the wall to see if it works. This is one of those, and it was not. I feel that Fantastic Four was not ambitious enough. They could have gone way further than what they did. And I feel like maybe that was what Fant Four Stick was. They were trying to push it a little further, but I haven't seen it. So,
well, let me tell you, Fan Four Stick. Would you would be surprised to find out that I don't think they really did.
No?
I don't think they pushed it much further. But perhaps we should save that for another episode.
Oh, you think so? Okay.
Well, I think you think we get another? Do you think we get another hour out of Fan Four Stick?
I think we could. So we
right,
will see
let's
you
try
next
this.
time. You will see the two of us that you saw before next time, and that makes 4.
Fan Four Stick.
Yeah.